Okay, what I just did here was I went to a file new document, and what we're going to be doing is we are going to make a document called amusement park, and you can type amusement park in here. And what I did was I went with a width of 16 height, 14 width inches. You may find that your new document panel comes in points. You can change it here into inches. And then you're going to go ahead and just leave everything, make sure you're in portrait mode and leave everything in default. And now that I'm getting going here, what we're going to be showing you today are some neat features that you can use in Illustrator CC. Now, in your Tools panel here, we have a number of shapes that we're going to work with several of these, especially the rectangle and the ellipse tool. And I'm just going to show you that basically up here you have a fill color and you have a stroke color. Okay, and anytime these are on, you will also see them down here where you have a white fill color and a red stroke color. So for example, if I was to click on my mouse and drag out a rectangle, you would see that it does have a red stroke and it has a white fill. If I went and changed that to a green fill, I have to have it selected, of course, and I'll go ahead and change it to a green fill. You can see how I get that fill color. You can also change the size of your stroke by coming up here, or you can even change it here as well. Now, we're not going to be using the rectangle right now. We'll be using it for the background later. But what we are going to do is we're going to be making a globe, and we're going to go with the ellipse tool. Now, one thing, if you didn't notice before, when I made the rectangle, if you look at the lower right-hand side, we get that little measurement of width and height. And this is one way we could do it, because what I want to do is I want to have a globe at a 7.6, I believe. So I could go ahead and try to arrange this to get it the way I want. But it's easier if you just click in here and tell it what you want it to make. And I'm just going to make this ellipse 7.6 and then click OK. And now it's given me that perfect size. Now I don't want a stroke, so I'm going to go here where it says none. And I'm going to give it a color for the globe, a blue. Now I could also go over to my swatches panel, and that is found in Windows, and I could go to color as well, and I can change my colors here as well. Okay, so just other ways that you can do the same operation. Now once I have my globe selected, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go to my pencil tool. And the neat thing about this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a curvy line around this shape. And I'm not going to connect it. I'm going to leave it open-ended. But if you double click on the tool, this will come up. And normally it defaults to about 50% between accurate and smooth. Now, just to kind of show you the difference, I'll just do it on accurate and kind of just do the lines. And you'll see that, okay, well, it's pretty straight and it's pretty much did what I had drawn there. Now, I'm going to get rid of that and I'm going to go back to where it's all the way up to smooth and show you the difference here. So I go, whoops, went off there. So I go and do my loops. And you'll notice how I have much smoother lines here and I don't have as many points. So I'm just going to do that again. So again, you can kind of just go in here and do little loops and go around. And yeah, that's pretty good. I'll take that. So now the next thing I want you to do then is this, we're going to actually give this a stroke. So I'm going to give it a red stroke. And we are going to actually give this a width. So what I want it to, I'm going to give it a 60-point width, which is going to be pretty wide. And now you see I have a very wide stroke there. And then up here where it says stroke, if I click on this, I get this control panel that comes up, and it gives me the option to do different things such as with corners, etc. What I want to do is create a dashed line, and what we want to do is we want to have the dash at 28 and the gap at 3 points. Okay, and there we go, we have that done. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to this tool called the width tool, and this is a pretty cool operation. In fact, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on. But watch what happens when I take the width tool and I come in from the edges. It makes it very narrow. I can also pull out and make it wider. So I can have lots of kind of fun with this tool, making it various widths. So go ahead and kind of get it the way you want to. And when you're pleased with it, okay. And if I go Command 0, I bring it all back in. And so that's kind of fun. Kind of gives you some artistic leverage here with how we have that look. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to bring in some shapes, and basically it's these shapes. If you don't have it up right now, you want to go to File, Open, and open up pieces.ai file. And basically what we have here is when it comes in, okay, you'll notice that when I select it, there's a lot of different shapes here, okay? And what I want to do next is I want to go to the Shape Builder tool. And this is a pretty cool function. And notice what happens, but I do have to have it selected first. So I'm going to have this all selected. And then I'm going to go back to my tool. And if you notice that mesh that comes up. So anything I draw over, it now has created one shape for me. Then what I can do is hold down my Option key and get rid of the inside shape. So now I've just built this complex shape of this castle, and I have an opening in here as well. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be copying this content and taking it over to the amusement park file that we made. But right now the flag is locked here. I can't do any selection. And so what I need to do is I'm going to go up to Object and I'm going to unlock all. And now you notice that the flag can be selected. And then I'm going to go to Select and All Active on Artboard. Okay, so now it's selected everything. And then I'm just going to go to, I'm going to go Command C or Edit Copy. And then I'm going to go over to my amusement park and I'm just going to paste it in. Okay. And now here's where, of course, you can go ahead and we have a stroke on there. I don't need a stroke, and I want to make this a darker blue. So just go ahead and, but I'm going to have to just select that one. There we go. Now it's nice and dark. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of move this around. You notice that the flag came with it. So right now I'm just going to move the flag up here. And this is really a cool little technique here. Now I could just click on this, go Edit, Copy, and Paste. Or I can hold down my Option key and go Edit and go Option and drag. And the nice thing about this is if you look at that pink alignment line there, I can definitely get this so that it's right on the same plane as the other castle, and let go. And now I have my second castle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Option again, and I'm going to put a third castle here, and I want to get it in the middle of the globe there. Now the thing is that this is in front of everything because it was the last object I made. So I'm going to go Object, Arrange, Send Backwards. And actually I'll have to do it again and send backwards. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this white. And now you'll notice that the castle is behind. And you can't really see it with the white background, but we'll do something later that will fix that. Another thing you can do too is rather than dragging with your mouse, you can also use your left or your up and down arrows and your left and right arrows and move it in to where you feel it's definitely more in alignment with everything. So once we get that done, we are ready to work with our little flags. So I'm going to take my flag, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this flag all the way back. And now what I can do is bring it over here and put the flag in, and then I'm going to hold down my Option key again. And do the same thing again. Oh, forgot to hold my Option key down, sorry. And I didn't want to do that, so we're just going to go Command C, Command V, and we'll just put the flag up there. I don't know what was going on there, but we're not going to worry about it right now. And again, I can use my arrows if I don't get it exactly where I want. And I can change the colors of these as well. You know, I can change them all different colors if I want to. However you like to do it. Okay. So once we have our flags in there, we are going to take the blue globe and we're going to actually bring this all the way to the front. So we're going to go Arrange and Bring to Front. And so now our blue globe is on top of the castles here. And I'm just going to leave it just about there. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place a object on here. So rather than copying like we did with the pieces, I'm going to go and I'm going to go File, Place, so that I can put it right on my artboard here, and I'm going to bring in the map. Now when I bring in the map, it's going to be quite big, so I'm going to go ahead and hold down my Shift key and make it smaller. And probably not that small, but we'll go ahead and bring that and bring this out here. Okay, and making sure I have just a little bit of room so I can make a selection when I'm getting ready to do my next step. So I'm going to go to Object and Arrange, and I'm going to send this map backwards. So now it's behind the map. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and copy this blue globe, and I'm going to paste it in place so it comes, just paste it in front so it comes just right on top of this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a clipping mask. Now that I have this selected, I also have to hold on my Shift key and select the flag as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make. And now you can see that I have the map right inside my globe. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go all the way to the background, and we're going to make a rectangle. And I'm going to make a white rectangle. And we're going to go ahead and just cover the whole page. Now you can see I've covered up everything, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to arrange it and send it all to the back. Okay? And then I'm going to bring up my gradient panel. And this is pretty cool because what we want to do is we're going to give it a linear gradient. We're going to do it at 90 degrees. And then I'm going to take my white slider and bring it to about 50%. And then I'm going to double click on the black slider and select CMYK. And we're going to select a darker hue of blue, and presto, I have my gradient. It works the same way if I were to go and select the globe here. And the difference would be is that I would go to a radial, and I'm going to bring my white out quite a bit and maybe change the darkness of the globe a little bit. And again, I can also double click here and make it a different type of color as well.